One.
Let's do it. The first pitch is in there, first strike. And we are underway here at the stadium. B.J. Upton started the season on the DL, and he has not really gotten on track yet, hitting .218. Lately, though, a little bit hotter, 9 for his last 20. And the pitch. Outside. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Want to keep the Rays off the bases as much as you can. 90 stolen bases for this team. Fly ball left field. Johnny Damon is there, and there's one away. I mentioned it's a gorgeous day in New York. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 71 degrees, humidity 68%, not much wind, and the forecast is for warmer and clear skies. A lot of clouds overhead at this point. Makes it a little bit easier on the outfielders, covers up the sun, not as much of a high sky. Here's Carl Crawford. He's having some year, hitting .327. Pitches outside. He has 34 steals. He's been caught twice. Check this out, David. His 34 steals is more than 18 teams have total. And he has 36 stolen bases lifetime against the Yankees.
I talked to Joe Madden before the game, Michael, and he just said Carl Crawford's just starting to figure out things. He's just becoming an all-around ball player, doing a lot of little things, anticipating the flow of the game, getting better at bats. You know, all around, he's just improved in every area.
The 1-1. Served into left field, coming on Johnny Damon, and he makes the play. 2 away. Take a look at the entire Yankees defense, and it's brought to you by Home at Depot. We've already met Damon. In left, we've got Cabrera in center and Swisher over right. In the infield, A-Rod, Jeter, Cano and Teixeira. That's third to first. Teixeira's yet to boot a ball in the infield this year. Cervelli behind the plate. Sabathia is on the mound. Here's Willie Ibar. Evan Longoria's hamstrings bothering him. He's not on the DL, but he's not able to play today. Pitch outside. And that's a break for the Yankees. He's been a machine. He's leading all vote getters at third base for the All-Star game. That's his off-speed pitch, count 1-1.
You know, you talk about, all eyes were on Evan Longoria before the game as he was running wind sprints in the outfield. Joe Girardi was keying on him. Everybody was wondering whether Evan Longoria could go today. Obviously not, but he was running fairly well. It looks like he may be back in a couple days.
Well, Longoria leads the American League in RBIs. He could pinch hit today if need be, so he lurks as a weapon. Off the bench for Joe Madden. And the 2-1. Popped up and out of play. 55 ribbies for Longoria. Jason Bay's having some season with 53. And then Justin Morneau, I think he had about 40 of those against the Yankees in that series here. 51. Mark Teixeira's at 47. Ian Kinsler of the Rangers, 44. Crowd looking for a strikeout. With 2-strike rhythmic clapping. And the 2-2. They don't get that. They get a line drive to left field, and Johnny Damon has just tied a major league record, recording all 3 putouts in the inning. 7-7-7. Are they lucky sevens? The Rays go down in order. The Yankees coming to bat against 22 and 22. And Derek Jeter, the captain, and the shortstop leads off. Batting second and playing left field, Johnny Damon. Mark Teixeira has owned the stadium. Look at what he's done at home. The first baseman will bat third. Cleaning up, playing third base, Alex Rodriguez. Jorge Posada will DH and bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing second base, Robinson Cano. And the bottom third of the order, Swisher in right, Cabrera in center, and Cervelli will catch.
Here's David Price, 6'6", 225. 2 starts this season, 1-0. Had a great one his last one. 3.0 ERA, 9 innings pitched, and 17 strikeouts. Here's the Jeep Pitcher Scouting Report on David Price. He's got an explosive heater. Upper 90s, effortless motion. I love this guy's mechanics, Michael. The ball just jumps out of his hands. Tough in the clutch. Opponents are only 2 for 20 versus him this year with runners in scoring position. And welcome to Yankees history. Made his debut against the Yankees last year. And his first hit he gave up was a home run to Derek Jeter. And that home run tied Jeter with Lou Gehrig for most hits at the old stadium. So a little welcome to Yankee history. He's back at the new stadium looking for some new history.
Oh, detailed scouting report, David. A lot of history in it. And let's take a look as we're right on target with you. Derek Jeter went the other way, and that ball was gone. So Jeter ties Gehrig's record in big-time fashion, and that was Jeter's last home run at the old stadium. And Gehrig leads off. It all works out. Willie Ibar in on the grass at third, really in at third. Pitches inside. I guess they don't expect Gehrig to pull the hard-throwing Price. B.J. Upton in extremely shallow center field. That's where he plays. He can go back on the ball. Pitch inside. Price started the season at AAA. He made 8 starts for Durham, and he was 1-4 with a 3.93. He had 35 strikeouts and 34 1/3 innings pitched. There's Price's last start was against Minnesota. He went 5 2/3, 5 hits, a run, and he struck out 11 to 108 pitches as Jeter fights one off the other way, and it's a foul ball. The umpires today: Adrian Johnson is behind the plate, Scott Barry is at first, Ted Barrett is at second, and the veteran crew chief Tim McClellan is at third. Boy, Tim McClellan's been around so long. He was the home plate umpire for the Pine Tar game. He's the one who said to George Brett, "You're out," and started up bedlam in the Bronx. The 2-2.
He was also the home plate umpire in David Wells' perfect game at the old Yankee Stadium, so he's certainly no stranger to the old Yankee Stadium history.
Considered one of the better umpires in the game. A little slow on his home plate strike call, but still respected by the players. Jeter's worked the count full, and the 3-2. Sky the other way, going back. Kapler still back. He's on the track. He'll put it away for the first out. So much debate about David Price. Why didn't he start the season with the team? Well, I'm sure that arbitration has something to do with it. Also, he is on an innings limit, as is Jabba Chamberlain, and they felt that if they kept him in the minor leagues, they could pitch him 3 innings, take him out of a game, and not have to worry about winning or losing the game. They couldn't do that up here. So that's why he was down there for about 2 months. And then the other debate is, boy, Tampa Bay really needs a closer. And he closed for them last year in the American League Championship Series and in the World Series. But they feel that he's too good and his future is as a starter, David.
It is interesting, all the debate about Jabba Chamberlain and what role he should be in right now. And the Yankees certainly have an option later in the year to get Jabba in the bullpen if they want him there. Nice options to have, nice problems to have. But I talked to Joe Madden, the manager of the Rays, and he said no way. They didn't even think once about putting Price in the bullpen. They just think he's too valuable as a starter. They project him as a #1 starter. And as you said, Michael, they're going to protect his innings. But nary a thought of this guy being a closer as of yet for the Rays.
Well, the way I look at it, baseball people put valuations on players. So the best starter in the game makes about $24 million a year. The best closer in the history of the game, Mariano, makes $15 million. So that tells you the value they put on a good starter.
How much do you think the Angels will pay K-Rod to come back right now, Michael?
Yeah, it's amazing. Their bullpen has really struggled. Last time I looked, I think they had the worst ERA in the American League.
You talk about a guy who was undervalued. And, it's the Mets gain and the Angels loss.
3-2. Served out toward left field. Crawford right there. 2 away. Let's take a look at the Tampa Bay Rays defense, which is brought to you by our good friends at the Home Depot. Crawford's in left, Upton in center, and Kapler over and right. In the infield, Ibar, Brignac, Zobrist, and Pena. Pena, a Gold Glove type first baseman, 5 errors at first this year. Navarro will be on the plate. Price is on the mound. There's Mark Teixeira, and the pitch is high, 1-0. Teixeira, 47 RBIs. And that matches the third most for any player in Yankees history over his first 50 games with the club. That's since 1920 when RBIs became official. Only Babe Ruth with 57 and Joe DiMaggio with 56 had more ribbies through their first 50 games than Mark Teixeira. Pretty nice company. Harry Rice in 1930, Joe Gordon in 38, Roger Maris in 60, also had 47. Popped up. Brignac goes back into shallow left center, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. So both left-handers work 1, 2, 3 first innings here at the stadium. Let's go to the second. No score on the S. Was a participant in the D-Day invasion, second-class seaman in the United States Navy. He was on a rocket boat that fired on Omaha Beach that supported the ground invasion of Normandy against 65 years ago today. Yogi also fought campaigns in North Africa and Italy, and he got a huge hand when he joined Bruno Panicucci and Anthony Gangone, 2 other members of the D-Day invasion. And we are forever indebted because those gentlemen changed the world. We go to the second inning, and Carlos Pena will lead off. And that one's fouled back. Pena has not had a good season. Now, he has 17 home runs, but he's better than a .226 hitter. That's his average. He's been a little bit of a slide of late, 2 hits in his last 19 at-bats. But he's a different player against the Yankees. Sounded like a broken bat, ground ball, and a foul. Will Ferrell at the game.
Nice lid. I'm digging that hat, Michael. What about you?
I don't know if it would work on me. I don't know if they give him big enough sizes.
Might be a little small. Squeeze on your melon.
I look like Denny Dimwit. Will's in the new movie Land of the Lost. Rex Ryan's here at the game, sporting a Yankee cap. Here's Rex. The Jet vest, the Yankee hat, he's all set.
That's a little mismatch there, isn't it, Michael?
What do you mean?
But the Jets were Mets and the Yankees were Giants.
Usually Jet fans are Met fans, yep, and Giant fans are Yankee fans.
Sure, there's some mixing and matching going on as well.
Strike three, paying the down rookie. Before the game, Joe Girardi greeting Rex Ryan. Oh boy, what are you in for? But Rex is a big sports fan, the son of Buddy Ryan. And he's, if you talk with him, you feel like putting the uniform on and going out and sacking the quarterback. He can fire you up. And a complete diametric opposite of the guy he took over for, Eric Mangini. Pitches outside the Zobrist.
It's such a different dynamic with a baseball manager who might not address his team for weeks on end, and a football coach or a basketball coach, for that matter, that's got to address your team on a daily basis.
There might go seasons, a whole season, if a manager doesn't address his team if things are going well.
Things are going well. You know, Joe Girardi doesn't have a lot of meetings. Joe Torre didn't have a lot of meetings. When he did have meetings, they were very effective because of that. But certainly a whole different dynamic in baseball with managers in terms of how often you actually formally address your team.
Now, I heard that in 1998, and we'll go to that after the scatter report for Ben Zobrist.
Well, Ben Zobrist, this is a guy to watch. He's a super utility player, switch hitter. Now he's going to probably be the everyday second baseman with Akinori Iwamura with an ACL injury. And he comes in red hot, 340 over the last 12 games. And also a little power surge. We talked about his switch hitting, the power surge. Last year he had 12 home runs in 62 games. This year 10 already in 48 games. He's clearly going to be playing a lot more and get the most at-bats of his career. And I've been waiting for this guy. He's got a lot of talent. Switch hitter with pop. Going to get a chance to get maybe 500 at-bats this year.
Sabathia deals a 3-1 outside, so Zobrist walks. Anyway, I wanted to get my point about in '98. I heard there was a big meeting with the Yankees, and you were the star of the meeting. So are you a good orator when it comes to yelling at the team?
Well, you know, once again, you know, you got to pick your spots. You can't overuse some of the phrases I used, and I certainly can't tell you exactly what I said in this booth here today. But sometimes it's good. You know, you can't overplay it, but sometimes it's good to have players actually stand up in team meetings and address your teammates and make a point. And I know the Yankees have had that in the past. Paul O'Neill's done it on occasion. Tino Martinez. It really is important to police yourselves. The manager can only get you so far, and your coaching staff. You really have to have leaders on your team in that clubhouse that push each other.
Who's Joe Dillon? There's a strike, so you'll tell me later, though, off the air.
I can tell you off the air, absolutely. You know, it's baseball clubhouse, locker room, you know.
It was effective because that team went on to 114 games. At that time, I think they were 1-4 when you spoke.
We were 1-4, and I certainly don't take credit for it. Joe Torre had a great meeting, too, and had a lot of good things to say.
That one is punched to right field. It's a base hit off the bat of Joe Dillon. Zobrist will stop at second.
Dillon, not your prototypical DH, but getting a chance to play. You see a fastball away and just serves it to right field. Outside corner, CC Sabathia with a slide step. Dillon just finds the hole. Little line drive to right. Got first and second now.
Here's Tiana Navarro, an all-star last year, but hitting .208 this season. It seemed like a lot of Rays had career year last year, and this year not the same. Because right from the beginning of the season, they didn't sneak up on anybody. This could be a double play. There's one. On to first, it is a double play. 4-6-3 off the bat of Navarro, and CC Sabathia gets out of trouble. No runs, a hit, no errors, and because of this DP, just one man left. We go to the bottom of the text poll. Today's question is, which of these pitchers with over 100 wins has the best chance to win 300 games? Text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Your choice is number 1, Roy Halladay, number 2, Roy Oswalt, number 3, CC Sabathia, and number 4, Johan Santana. Sabathia is the youngest, and he said, David, no way. He said, I'm just not sticking around that long.
Good luck, guys. Have at it.
He would have to average 18 wins for the next 10 years. Randy Johnson just won his 300th the other day against the Nationals. And a lot of people are saying, David, that there might not be another 300-game winner in a long, long time.
Well, you know, it's sort of tough because if you get a young starter like a Jabba Chamberlain or this kid David Price, you're going to get protected early in your career. So you're not going to get that many opportunities until you pass your 25th birthday anyway.
Pitch to A-Rod is rocketed to right center field. Upton back, still back, looking up. See ya! Home run, Alex Rodriguez. Looked like it went off the top of the wall. A solo shot for A-Rod, and the Yankees lead 1-0. Home run for A-Rod, his 23rd ribby.
First pitch, hacking right there, down and out over the plate. A-Rod does not miss it. Oh, it's got that sound too, Michael. You know, he got it right on the sweet spot. Right off the top of the wall. Mike Harkey with a nice little one-hand grab out there, the bullpen coach for the Yankees.
Right off the top with a good bounce for the Yankees. Nice play by Harkey. And now they'll probably tell Harkey we want the ball back. Posada with a high fly ball, left field. Crawford puts it away. Let's take a look at A-Rod's swing on the Coors Light freeze can.
See, A-Rod generates a lot of power with his lower half.
Freeze it right there. Couldn't style on that one because, hey, it just got out.
I guess when you hit 561 home runs in your career, you know, you kind of act like you've done it before.
You have. Count 0-1. You know, Harkey makes that catch, and Joe Girardi is warming up before pitching batting practice today with Mike Harkey. So I'm about 10 feet away talking to Joe. He said, "Come closer." He said, "Don't be afraid. He won't hit you." And I said, "Well, he's of course not going to hit me. He's a pitcher. You know, he was a pitcher. He has control." He goes, "Third pitch in the major leagues, he hit a guy in the head. Don't get that close." And he did. The 0-2 outside. Boy, he's big. You ever stand next to Mike Harkey?
Yes, I remember facing him when he was with the Cubs and I was with the Mets. We locked horns a few times, and he had a couple really good years for the Cubs. Heavy sinking fastball.
You look at him and you can't believe he's a former gymnast. He's like 6'6". Got to be 3 bills. He's a former gymnast.
Well, I'm going to need confirmation on that. I know you're very accurate with your research, Michael, but you've got some doubts.
Girardi told me. Foul boy.
I mean, he was dating a former gymnast?
He was a former gymnast.
He was a former gymnast.
That's right. The parallel bars, the whole deal.
He was the parallel bars. A good guy, Mike Harkey. Bullpen guys out there love him.
Count 2-2. Cano 10 for his last 36. The Yankees have a run on A-Rod's home run. Foul the other way. Big crowd at the ballpark. This is a great day for a game. After yesterday, everybody was miserable with that rain most of the day. And just to be outdoors at the ballpark watching the Yankees and the Rays, great way to spend an afternoon.
Not too many empty seats here today, Michael. Just about everywhere in the ballpark you look.
Tried to pull an outside pitch and grounds it to Pena. He steps on the bag 2 away. Let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios, over 100 HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. Matt Garza will go for the Rays, 4-4, 3.67. And Jabba coming off arguably his best start, 3-1, 3.71. Our coverage begins at noon with the BP show. 12:30 is our pregame show. And right around 1:07, first pitch will be thrown. It's Sunday in New York. Here's Nick Swisher. Nick's starting to heat up. 4 for his last 6, 10 for his last 22 after a prolonged slump most of May. His average plummeted. The pitch is low. 1-0. Got a 7-game hitting streak, during which time he's hitting .435. Count 1-1.
Price with back-to-back breaking balls to start off Swisher. Price is coming into this game pretty much a lot of fastballs. Almost 75% of his pitches are fastballs. And as I say that, 3 straight sliders, Michael. So you can see he's trying to pitch. He's trying to work in that secondary stuff. His slider, he's got a curveball, but basically fastball slider.
One, 2. Strike 3. Swisher is down looking. And he looks at the outside corner. He can't believe that the umpire called him out. Alex Rodriguez, first pitch of the inning, goes the other way. Right off the top of the wall. Right into the hand of Mike Harkey. Brignac and Upton, 8-9 and 1 in the Rays order. On the Modell scoreboard, it's 1-0 Yankees. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. Kapler hitting just 176. First pitch popped up right field. And Swisher is there. 1 away. Now Sabathia, because of the rain out, because of the flip-flop with Chin-Ming Wang, is on 6 days rest. And career-wise, 16-10, 4.02 ERA, and 36 career starts of 6 or more days of rest. When you have too much rest, David, how does that manifest itself on the mound?
Well, you know, it can work both ways. Sometimes you give your arm a little bit of a break and you come out firing. You come out with a little extra velocity. Other times, maybe, you know, it takes you a little longer to get into the groove. Maybe you're squeezing the ball a little bit. Your rhythm and your tempo might be off a little bit, but I always liked it.
Punted foul.
Sabathia's a veteran pitcher at this point. He's not he's certainly not a rookie or a 1 or 2 year player. So I think a little extra rest here and there could really be key for him. He's a horse. He was ridden hard down the stretch with Milwaukee last year. It was 11-2 with Milwaukee down the stretch and 7 complete games and 3 shutouts. So I talked to Joe Girardi before the game. If they can get a chance to give him an extra day or maybe even get him out of games earlier here and there, pick their spots, they're going to try to do it with him.
Pitch is high, 1-1. Well, David, on 6+ days rest, you were 30 and 17, 3.37. Pretty good.
You know, a lot of that was later in my career too. I remember in 1999, Mel Stoudemire and I came up with a plan where I pitched once a week towards the last month of the season, because we had enough of a lead that they thought that would help me in the postseason, and it did pay off. It didn't help the rest of my regular season in 1999, but it certainly helped me in the playoffs. Have an extra rest on a continuous basis.
Foul back, 2-2.
You know, both these pitchers throw a lot of strikes. They both feature power 4-seam type fastballs. You know, and Sabathia on the first pitch in his career, hitters are hitting 376, 301 for 801. You see a lot of first pitch hacks today by the Rays.
Swing and miss. Slider diving down and away, 2 down.
And that's the reason why, because when you get deep in the count, he can do this to you. You know, you don't want to let a guy who can strike you out get you to 2 strikes, because Sabathia's got some options. You see here a sweeping slider off the plate. You know, and he can vary the break in that slider. He can get on top of it. This one's a little more around. Got side to side and downward movement. A good finish pitch.
So two-way, that'll bring up B.J. Upton. Upton flied out to left. That was in the first inning. Count 1-0. We gave you all the injuries that the Rays have battled. They've had 7 new players added to the 25-man roster over the last 2 weeks. And 6 movement to the DL. So they're beaten up, and they're beaten up with some very important players. David's already mentioned Ewa Moore is out for the year. Got taken out at second base on a slide. Tore his ACL. Their closer is gone, Troy Percival. Longoria is not on the DL, but he's unable to play the next couple of days with a hamstring problem. He might be able to pinch hit. Scott Kazmir's on the DL. That's a lot of firepower to lose. Ground ball to Alex Rodriguez. And a 1-2-3 inning for CC Sabathia. And he did it with just 9 pitches as the Rays go down in order. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 1-0. Run to right center, his 8th of the year, 561st of his career. It'll now be Cabrera, Cervelli, and Jeter, 8, 9, and 1. in the Yankee order against the young left-hander for the Rays. The Modell scoreboard, 1-1-0 Yanks, 0-1-0 for Tampa Bay. And Modell's is the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees. And that'll bring up Melky Cabrera, and Melky has certainly gotten used to winning games, and this one was the difference in Thursday's game.
It was actually an off-speed pitch. We saw C.J. Wilson coming out throwing in the upper 90s. Melky gets probably a changeup on the inner half of the plate, turns on it. Another big hit.
He's had 5 difference makers in the season, driven in the game-winning RBI. Since the 06 All-Star break, he leads the Yankees with 6 walk-off hits. And there's something to be said for having the belief in yourself that you can do it. Things kind of slow down for you then.
Confidence is fleeting in this game. Melky has certainly answered the bell in terms of not only in spring training and the competition he went through, but how he handled it when he lost the center field job. Never complained, just continued to work hard, and actually had a very good spring training himself.
And the 2-0. Strike, 2-1.
Well, I love this guy's delivery, Michael. David Price, when you try to break down his mechanics and you watch the way he throws, he's got effortless gas.
Comes out of college, he went to Vanderbilt, and you hear some of the horror stories about kids in college and how they just throw so many pitches. But Price seems like he's okay, David.
Yeah, he's got a strong front side. Almost a little tilt to his delivery, a la Andy Pettit. We've seen some of the old-time pitchers back to Sandy Koufax kind of get a little tilt with his right shoulder almost elevating in the middle of his delivery. Really gets that front side strong and driving towards the plate.
Ground ball to Ibar. There is one away. I'm sure you heard that story, David, about the kid in Texas against Boston College. And let's take a look at the delivery.
We see right here that right side, you almost get that little tilt, and that helps him drive down. Look at that drive with that front side. His glove hand is the front side, his right arm. His right shoulder almost tilts up a little bit and then drives straight down right towards home plate.
There's the Bio first overall pick in 07. That was the last time the Rays had the first overall pick because they were bad. Vanderbilt and 12-1 in the minors last year. Anyway, the kid in the University of Texas threw 13 innings in relief a day after actually pitching in a game, and he was the closer. He went 12 1/3, and he threw 169 pitches. Ground ball to third. Ibar's there. 2 away. What do you think of that, David?
Well, you know what? If you're a father and you've got a kid that's 18 years old, that's a phenom, say like David Price or CC Sabathia when he was 18 years old, and you see a story like that, it makes you want to go ahead and sign with the minor leagues or with the professional ranks, because you know you're going to get protected in the minor league life, even though it's a very difficult way to make a living and work your way up. Certainly different strokes for different folks. Some kids do better going to college programs, but when you see that, it really scares you about some college coaches whose jobs are on the line and really seem to care less about pitch counts or whether they're going to blow a young pitcher out or not.
And the guy in Texas, Augie Garrido's been there forever. He's an established big-time coach, and his explanation was the kid said he wouldn't come out. Please, you're the coach. You're coming out.
Yeah, I mean, that one game can't mean that much. Even if you win that game and that kid ends up getting hurt, it's going to be hard to live with if you're Augie Garrido. And certainly he's got a great track record. I mean, obviously he's a great college coach, but that's a hard one to explain.
And you're right about the minor league contract. Yeah, you want the education, but you're an investment for the organization. They're not going to burn you out. 41 pitches for Price, 23 strikes.
Well, we've seen that trend kind of change. 10 years ago, a lot of GMs around the league were drafting college players and staying away from high school players. And I think it's kind of reversed now. 10 years later now, and in the current age, the draft is coming up next week on Tuesday. I think you're going to see more targets on high school players, especially young pitchers and position players for that matter.
And the 3-0 to Jeter. And Jeter works a walk. So 2-out walk, and that's going to bring up Johnny Damon. You think you would have been better off with college, or did you make the right decision going to the minors?
I think I made the right decision. I don't know if I'd have made it out of the frat house if I went to college, Michael. I might still be living there.
Dave Blutarski. Jeter goes, throw to second. It trickles into right center field. Jeter gets up, goes to third.
David Price pretty quick to home plate. Jeter gets a good read, straight down with the slide, and here's even a better read. Quick up. You see Jeter's going to make it easily into second base, but here's the read. He sees it right away, no hesitation. That ball doesn't trickle off that far. That's a quick decision. I'm going now, and it's the right decision.
Stolen base, E2. Jeter's 11th stolen base. He had 11 all of last year. His legs must feel unbelievably fresh today. He had Thursday off, just a day off, and then yesterday was a rainout. Damon fouls one off. Now with 2 outs and runners in scoring position off Price in his young career, opponents are 0 for 9.
Well, I think David Price proved he was clutch last postseason for the Rays and kind of serving in a closer's role. Got that ability to kind of add a little bit. You see that fastball up to 97 miles an hour. You got a 2-out situation here. Man on third. This is when great pitchers can reach back for a little extra.
In the postseason last year, opponents were 2 for 20 against Price. I mean, that's the height of pressure. 22-year-old kid at the time, not that far removed from college. And he pits Tampa Bay into the World Series. 2-2. 3-2. You don't want to lose the lefty swinging Damon if you're Price, because the switch hitter, Mark Teixeira, is on deck. And he does walk in. So 2 straight walks, 1 to Jeter and now 1 to Damon. 5 of the first 11 lefties against Price have been in 3-ball counts. Carlos Pena goes over and tries to calm Price down.
Well, that would be the formula for the Yankees. As you see Teixeira on the day 0 for 1, and his numbers on the year, just remarkable numbers when you think about where he was in April with Teixeira. But the scouting report on Price is, you know, he's going to have a pitch limit. This is the number 50th pitch of the day coming up here in the bottom of the third. And just what the Yankees ordered. Try to get this guy out of the game with a high pitch count as soon as possible.
And the pitch to Teixeira. Like a darting slider on the inside corner, 0-1. Pitch, 1-1.
Well, Michael, we talked about in the pregame show about, you know, do you know who you're matched up against? David Price and CC Sabathia. And right here's where you know. And you want to be real careful. You've already got 1 run on the board with an A-Rod home run. You've seen CC Sabathia shut down the Rays in the first 3 innings. You can't give up much more today. That's why he's pitching Teixeira so carefully here with all these breaking balls. He knows one mistake here might be the day for him. The way CC Sabathia is throwing the ball right now. And that's when you think about it as a starter. Even though you're facing, obviously, the opposing lineup, you know who the other pitcher is in that dugout, and you also know how well he's throwing in the first 2 innings.
The 2-1. 2-2. He doesn't just throw, David. He pitches. Got an idea out there.
Talked about his delivery. He's got a great delivery. He's got great mound presence. Certainly he's going to get better and better and the more opportunities he gets.
Slow roller toward short. Brignac fields. Fires, and they get Teixeira for the final out. of the third. So the 2 walks do not hurt David Price. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We are a third of the way through. Yankees, most amongst active players during the expansion era, that's since 1961, who has the most stolen bases against the Yankees. And Carl Crawford leads off. We mentioned that the Rays have 90 stolen bases as a team. That's 27 more than any other club. The Angels have 63. Sabathia has some giddy up on his fastball today to count 0-2. Sabathia wears his pants very blousy, gives him room with the leg kick.
Look comfortable, yeah. They look comfy to me, Michael. I wore mine too tight.
That looks like MC Hammer. MC Hammer pants, the 0-2. Yeah, yours were painted on. I don't know what you were trying to do out there.
I don't know. It's stuck
like leotards.
Stuck in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s.
Those have like almost a pajama feel to them. And who's really not comfortable in pajamas?
Got no problem getting a high leg kick with those on.
I was just thinking, David, we kind of date ourselves. Half our audience might not even know who MC Hammer is anymore.
The genie pants?
Yeah. A rapper from, I guess we'd say a rapper from the 80s, right?
Isn't he on some Geico commercials now?
Yes.
He's back.
And the 0-2. He also has a baseball background. He was a kind of a runner for Charles Finley and then a bat boy for the Oakland Athletics. And then did that song Can't Touch This.
The song you heard in just about every major league ballpark that summer when that hit came out.
Served right to Jeter. One away.
You see Crawford really battling after being down 0-2, really stayed in this at bat and made CC Sabathia work. And that's one of the improvements Joe Madden, the manager of the Rays, was talking about with Crawford, is really hanging in certain at bats, even when you're down against a tough lefty. Almost got a base hit there.
Now, Kim Jones, our resident pop culture expert, says that MC Hammer has a new show on A&E. So you'll have to set your DVR to that, Dave.
There you go. See, you hang around long enough, things come back in fashion. That's why you never throw away your ties, Michael.
That's why I still have my Nehru jacket. The 1-0. There's a strike. 1-1. Ibar filling in at third for Evan Longoria today. Ibar's 2 for his last 20. Along with David Cohn, I'm Michael Kay, and you are watching Yankees baseball right here on the YES Network. We thank you for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with us to see the pitch count for Sabathia: 40, 25 strikes. And the lefty deals. Grounded slowly left side. A-Rod. 2 away. You ever notice, David, every time they toss the ball around the infield, Sabathia will never catch the ball from an umpire or from Alex Rodriguez with his glove. He always catches it with his bare hand.
I did not notice that. I'm going to look for it now.
What I mean, he will not catch it with a glove. It's got to be a superstition.
As long as you're that close, you know, the umpire throws a bullet from behind the plate. I want to see him do it then. Sabathia's had a good mix of pitches. He established his fastball early. Now he's really mixing them up. Probably about 60% fastball so far today. 24% breaking balls, and then his changeup, which he really likes, 17% of the time on the breakdown of his pitches today. And he really is a pitcher when he gets going. Even though he possesses a mid-90s fastball, he's at his best when he's mixing in that changeup and that kind of slurvy breaking ball that he has.
1-1 upstairs. 17 home runs. Pena leads the American League in home runs. Teixeira, Bay, and Cruz are next with 16. There are 2 tied with 15. Pena against the Yankees this season, 7 for 22, but 4 of the 7 home runs with 10 ribbies. Yankees lead 1-0 on Alex Rodriguez's second inning home run up the top of the fence, just to the right of dead center. The 2-1. 2-2. Pena doesn't have a great batting average, but his on-base percentage is up there because he leads the American League with 41 walks.
Well, you know you have a good breaking ball when you throw it and they swing and miss, and it would have been a strike anyway. That shows you how quick that kind of slider, slurvy breaking ball that CC is today. And he can get on top of it, make it more curve-like in terms of break, and also get around it a little bit, make it more of a slider.
Two. Just missed inside.
Well, you talk about if I'm going to come in on a lefty, I'm going to get it in there in a great spot. That's perfect. Right above the belt, just in off the plate.
Very close. And the 3-2. Popped up. Mark Teixeira. And he's called off by Cano. And Cano puts it away for the final out of the 4th inning. Another 1-2-3 inning. And Sabathia has retired 8 in a row. So the Rays go down in order, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Yankees. most active players during the expansion era, which began when I was born, who has the most stolen bases against the Yankees? And the answer is Rickey Henderson. Now, you got to also realize that Rickey had all those years with the Yankees, or he would have had more. So 79 stolen bases against the Yankees. Alex Rodriguez will lead off against David Price. There's a strike. Now, if you want to look at something real positive for the Yankees, Alex Rodriguez on Thursday had a big base hit against the wall on right. And now he just hit a home run to right center field. When he starts going the other way, that's when his swing is right where he wants it to be. Count 1-1. I want to run this theory past you, David. I was talking to Oral Hershiser the other day. He said that Sandy Koufax used to preach to him. First 3 innings, throw nothing but fastballs, try to get people out with that. Then before your fastball starts to go down a bit because of fatigue, then you throw your change in the middle innings. He said, and then when your fastball has lost some velocity, that's when you go back to it and they don't notice that it lost velocity because you've thrown the changeup.
Well, you know, it's hard to argue with Sandy Koufax. I mean, he's just a great guy to talk to about pitching. It certainly makes sense. You know, I saw Brett Saberhagen do that sort of a style in his Cy Young award-winning years with the Royals back in the 80s, where first time through the lineup it was predominantly fastball changeup, and then he would mix his breaking ball in the middle innings. And the only problem with that is sometimes if you wait to break out a pitch in the middle innings, it might not be there unless you develop a feel for it. At least throw it enough early in the game to get a feel for it.
And I guess what Koufax was stressing was if, in fact, you wait to break out the off-speed pitch when your fastball has already lost velocity, it's not going to have the same effect.
Assuming you have a good feel for your off-speed pitch. Right. It's hard to go 3 innings without throwing one of your pitches in your repertoire and expect it to be sharp.
3-2, and A-Rod walks. Hey, tomorrow at 5, get a wrap-up of this week's homestand when the skipper sits down for an all-new WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show. Plus, get a look ahead to next week's big series against the Red Sox and the Mets. It's the Joe Girardi Show. It's new tomorrow at 5, and it's only on Yes. Well, the Yankees so far, we're in the 4th inning, have had 6 plate appearances of 6 or more pitches. And Price's pitch count is at 61. Here's Posada.
We'll see David Price pitching A-Rod very carefully there after the obvious first at-bat against him and the home run resulting with fastball down out over the plate. So a lot of breaking stuff to A-Rod. A-Rod works the walk.
Posada, 5 for his last 10, 8 for his last 24. So he did not lose his swing while he was on the DL for 22 games. And this also is a nice rest for Posada because he did not start on Thursday behind the plate. Friday was an off day because of the rainout, and now he's DHing. So that's 3 days in a row for his legs, and that's a good thing for any catch, especially a 37-year-old one.
Well, I think we've seen this year with Posada how much he was missed last year, just with his bat in the lineup. Just extends the entire Yankees offensive production. Switch hitter with power, middle of that lineup. He can bat anywhere up and down the lineup in a power slot. Gives protection, obviously, to both A-Rod and Teixeira.
1-2. Ooh, right by him. Really reached back for something there and strikes out Posada for the first out of the 4th.
This is what Price can do. I mean, it just jumps out of his hand. He's got pretty much abbreviated leg kick. We talked about that strong front side and the tilt in his shoulders. And some guys throw 98, 99 miles an hour, and it looks like they're trying to throw 98 or 99. Not this kid. Ball just effortlessly jumps out of his hand.
1-0. You watch Price in the set, Dave. It looks like he kicks his leg twice. He'll kick it when he first comes to a set. I'm surprised the umpires let him do that. You'll check this out. There's that kick. And then another kick. I guess they say it's all part of the normal motion.
Yeah, as long as he does it every time, that's fine. I mean, the key is to once you come with your hand set, then you're fine. As long as there's a discernible stop before you deliver to home plate, then you can almost do anything you want before you come to that set position. Think back to the '76 World Series with Louis Tion and all the glove bouncing until he finally came to the set. So you can pretty much do anything you want until you set your hands, as long as you do it every time.
Runner goes. Throw to second. How about that? Alex Rodriguez must be feeling pretty good hip-wise as he steals second and moves to third on another throwing error by Navarro.
Well, Navarro definitely caught off guard. You see A-Rod gets a little jump, a little head start. Almost left before Price even broke his hands to deliver, and he's easily in there. Sometimes a veteran base runner will get a little cheating running start on a young pitcher, and A-Rod was able to take advantage there, and Navarro caught off guard. You can see right away he knows he launches it into center field once again for his second error.
And a long talk with Adrian Johnson. First stolen base in September of last year. And it's all starting to come together for him, because now it's almost as if he's just getting out of spring training mode in terms of repetition and pitches seen and at bats. Rays bring the infield in now on a 2-1 count to Cano. It's 1-0 Yankees on A-Rod's home run, and now he's at third with one man out. He can really reach back and count 2-2. Price threw 100 pitches in 3 1/3 innings in his first start, 108 pitches in his second start. This is his third. There's that high cheese.
Yeah, when you throw that hard, you can go up the ladder. Well, that's just still the toughest pitch to hit in baseball is that high, hard one up above the belt, running it up the ladder in the mid to upper 90s.
Two, 3-2 on deck. Nick Swisher. Well, his strikeout total really going down. He's on pace for 45 strikeouts this year. He had 85 and 07, so it continues to go down. Great back control, good eye. The 3-2. Oh, what a play by Ibar. Here comes A-Rod. He'll score. And Ibar goes to first. That's a great read by Alex Rodriguez. Infield in, play made, and he's still able to score to give the Yankees a 2-0 lead.
Well, you're exactly right, Michael. You see Robinson Cano hits it on the button. Ibar with a one-hopper. Looks like he might have a play here. He takes a look and says, nope. Well, I think he had a play home there, Ibar. Maybe he just didn't get a handle on it. But obviously gives up on the play on A-Rod at home and takes the easy out at first. But if you look at this again, A-Rod breaks right away. It's a bullet one-hop shot. Ibar has a shot there at home, but decides maybe you better just go ahead and take the out at first.
Well, that is definitely an A-Rod generated run. A walk, a stolen base, moves to third on the E2, breaks there on the ground ball, and scores without a throw. So Cano picks up his 33rd run batted in. Count 1-1 on Swisher. Now 2-1, and every run looms large, especially the way CC Sabathia is pitching.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, and you start looking at a play like that from Ibar, thinking, man, boy, you got the infield in, maybe take a shot home there, but a little easier up here, dissecting it Michael than down there, making a diving stab and trying to make a split-second decision whether to go home or first. But Get an extra run to that guy, CC Sabathia, right now. It does loom large. Meanwhile, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, David Price has got 76 pitches already.
Two. Given out to left field. Crawford on the run. He's there, and he puts it away for the final out of the 4th. Alex Rodriguez builds a run here in the inning for the Yankees. A walk, a stolen base. There's the stolen base. Then he moves to third on the E2 and scores on the ground ball. At the end of 4. Against CC Sabathia. CC's been dealing, gives up just 1 hit in the first 4, and there's a strike to Zobrist. On the Lexus scoreboard, 2-0, 2-1-0, and 0-1-2, a home run by A-Rod. And then he created the other run with a walk, a stolen base, moved to third on an error, and scored on a ground ball. And the 0-1. 1-1.
Did you drop a Seinfeld Newman on Nancy?
Yes,
Newman?
I did.
I think we're going to see Jerry here at Yankee Stadium. He's over on the other side of town, isn't he?
But he was here, I think, on the opener, though.
Maybe the Subway Series, we'll see him.
Do you have any connections with him, David? Because we really want him on center stage, and we haven't been able to make it happen.
I don't know. You know, I could talk to Keith Hernandez. You know, he was on the show.
Very tight, yeah.
So I could see. I got you Lorne Michaels.
Yes, you did. He was great, which also got us Paul Simon. So it's like a little tree that's growing. That one is driven deep to left field. That could be trouble. Damon back on the track, looking up. See ya! A home run by Zobrist, his 11th of the year. Razor on the board. It's 2-1 Yanks.
Get a look here. Sabathia with a breaking ball. Kind of a slider that on the inner half of the plate, and Zobrist just drops the helmet on it. You can see that swing. He kind of recognizes off-speed breaking ball, just gets the head out, keeps it fair down the line. easily out of here.
Pitch to Joe Dillon is outside 1-0. Well, Zobrist had been like a super utility guy, and he's going to get a lot of time at second base now with Evo Moore out. There's that change. What a weapon for Sabathia.
Zobrist came in. We talked about our scouting report on one of the Rays hitters. We picked Zobrist because he came in smoking hot. 340 over the last 12 games. Played in 62 games last year. Certainly going to surpass that this year.
Ground ball off the third base bag and down the left field line. Damon plays it in the corner beautifully and then airmails one over the head of Cano, and that allows Dillon to go to second. Now he's heading to third. Ball misplayed by Swisher, and he gets the ball in. So sloppy defense there by the Yankees. A good play initially by Damon, but then he airmails the throw off over the head of Robinson Cano.
Well, first of all, down and in again. Dillon just turns on it, hits the bag. Big hop over A-Rod's head and down the line, and this is where it gets tricky. You get a little bounce off of there, and Damon comes up, launches over Cano's head. Here comes Swisher into the play. Diving, trying to stab it, misses. Off the bag once again, down into the corner. A little quick hop right out to Damon. There's the first mistake. So Dillon knows right there he does not hesitate. He's going the whole way. Swisher would have had to make one heck of a play to get over there, dive, catch it, and try to make a play at third.
Scored a single in E7, and that allows the runner to go to third. Here is Navarro. The Yankees will play the infield back, so they'll give up the run. And a strike from Sabathia. So coasting along, having retired 8 in a row before the home run by Zobrist, and now Dillon is on third. Nobody out.
Yankees obviously playing back here in their infield. Going to concede this run with nobody out. It's a situation here, Michael. If I'm in this spot here, I'm CC Sabathia. You got nobody out, man on third. You got a one-run lead. You're not necessarily conceding the run at third, but you certainly don't want to work yourself into a bigger jam in this inning. If you get in a position to strike this guy out with 2 strikes, then maybe you go for it. Once you get the first out, then maybe you start to get a little more greedy. But at this point, you don't want to work yourself into a big inning.
And that one is laced into center field. Coming on as Melky makes the catch. Here's the throw. Not in time as Dillon tags and scores, and we are tied at 2. So just like that, a 2-0 lead is a 2-2 tie. For Navarro, his 13th RBI of the season. Here's Gabe Kapler. A-Rod deep at third for Kapler. He took a peek down there. Maybe he's thinking bunt. Nope. Pitch outside, 1-0.
Well, ironically, in Sabathia's career, he can be bunt on. 28 for 62 opposing hitters are when they try to bunt, a .452 average. Sabathia traditionally kind of a fly ball pitcher in his career, as you see. Boy, after zero errors in 18 previous games, you got the 4th straight game with an error. Nature of the game. Starting pitchers are pitching well and getting strikeouts. There's less chances, obviously, to make errors.
1-1. Odd pop-up, shallow right. Swisher is there. 2 outs.
Sabathia has traditionally been kind of a fly ball pitcher. When the ball's on the ground, hitters are hitting 237 on him, and when the ball's in the air, only 162 in his career. So certainly a fly ball pitcher, but even when it's on the ground, they're not hitting at a high clip. It's a good all-around pitcher.
Here's Reed Brignac. And the pitch. 0-1.
Sabathia was the first-round pick, the 20th pick in the nation in '98 by the Indians. Obviously facing David Price, who's also a first-round pick of the Rays.
The 0-2. Swing on and miss. CC Sabathia goes up the ladder to strike out Brignac, but he had retired 9 in a row, or 8 in a row coming into this inning, and Ben Zobrist connects for a solo home run leading off the fifth. The end of 4 1/2. We're halfway through. 2-2. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your tri-state area Audi dealers. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. This kid needs some runs. He's a little too mellow right now. Chilling, sunglasses on, getting ready to nod out. There's Melky Cabrera. That one is driven to left field. Giving chase is Crawford. It's over his head. One hop up against the wall. Melky's going for 2. And he makes it. A leadoff double for Melky Cabrera.
First pitch swinging, fastball right there. Belt high, right down the middle. Price trying to get a strike. Melky knows that Price is going to go after him on first pitches, and Melky just drills it. One hop the wall, busting it out of the box, easily into second.
Lexus scoreboard, it's 2-2. Cervelli, let's see if he bunts. That's what the Rays are expecting. That's what he's going to give him, and he takes a pitch low. Now, David, when somebody was bunting, I mean, was it your express purpose to try to stop the bunt, or hey, I'll just take the out?
Depends on the situation. You know, if you did not want the guy to bunt, then you, at the last minute, certainly if you had a fastball, you know, called on the count, then you could bust him up and in or try to get a pop-up. I would try to throw it up in the air to try to get a pop-up and see, especially with a young player.
But then you run into this problem where you're 2-0. You also don't want to lose it.
Yeah, at some point you got to give in and go ahead and give up the out, or take the out rather. A little different situation trying to run a guy from second to third here. Cervelli's got to bunt the ball to third base. You got to make the third baseman field it, because once the third baseman comes down and has to field it, then that vacates third base. And Melky could just cruise into third.
And that's exactly what he does, David. Well placed by Cervelli, and Cabrera moves to third. And Cervelli's fourth sacrifice bunt of the season. He's making himself very valuable here.
Well, it's certainly great angle. Got the bat up. Make sure he gets it down. Well, Cervelli does a lot of the little things well. Sets up behind the plate. Calls a good game for a young catcher. See that enthusiasm that's become so infectious around the Yankee clubhouse. A lot of the veteran guys love him. Plays the rookie role. He's respectful, but yet has a good amount of enthusiasm and is not afraid to show it.
Infield in for the Rays. Jeter at the plate. Jeter walked and stole a base and moved to third his last time up. In the first inning, a fly ball to right. There's a strike. Fastball, 96. Down 1-1. 83 pitches for Price. 43 strikes. Not awful. If you can give him 100 pitches, 6 innings, you take it.
He will get better as his career, as he gets more starts this year and starts to establish himself as a big league starter. He will get better with that because his mechanics are solid. He does have good control.
Down 1-2.
Jeter traditionally has always been in the Yankees lineup the guy you would want up in this situation because he can break down his swing, he can inside out the ball, even down 1-2 to a power pitcher right here. Jeter's probably the one guy you'd want up in this situation.
Spoils that one.
That's what's made Derek Jeter so clutch throughout his career, his ability to do so much at the plate, to break down his swing, just go for a single, take pitches all over the plate. He can certainly turn on inside pitches and also inside out them. And wait till the last minute and just spoil pitches like that last one.
Snap throw to third, and it gets past Ibar, and that's going to allow Melky Cabrera to score. I think that might have gotten Melky in the face. And he is in pain, but the Yankees have a 3-2 lead. That'll be another error on Navarro. What a nightmarish afternoon. 3 errors.
Well, this is not a lot of reward for high risk. As you see, he throws from his knees. Looks like Melky gets more of a knee by Ibar in the face. As you see him holding his face right there.
Oh.
Definite kneecap right to the jaw.
And Jeter swings and misses.
A real risky play by Navarro. He had a tough throwing day already, as we see Steve Donahue, the longtime assistant trainer, tending to Melky. You can see those kneecaps don't give too much when they hit you right in the jaw. But back to Navarro, you can see, boy, maybe he's trying to make up for those 2 bad throws, Michael, but that was a high-risk play at third there, and you got 2 strikes with a strikeout pitcher and Price on the mound, and you end up seeing Derek Jeter striking out. I wonder what he was thinking right there, trying to make up for 2 bad throws possibly. Man on third base to throw from your knees with a right-handed batter in the box, really a tough chance for Navarro.
Damon fouls it away. Damon is 0 for 1 with a walk. So far this year against Tampa Bay, Damon's 8 for 18 with a home run and 5 ribbies. One and two.
The Yankee bench concerned about Melky. Immediate ice right to his face and his jaw, and you know that's going to leave a mark.
The 2-2 is a broken bat, grounded to Zobrist. And the out is made at first, and that's going to do it. But the Yankees take the lead, and Melky is feeling the pain because of it. A double, and then he ends up scoring on a throwing error. Yes, it's a Sunday matinee in the Bronx as the Yankees play Game 3. Check that, Game 2 against the Rays. Coverage starts at noon with batting practice today. And the Tri-State Board pregame, the Rays and the Yankees tomorrow at noon, only on Yes. B.J. Upton leads off against C.C. Sabathia, who again has a lead. And the pitch outside, 1-0. Rays about hit the Yankees. The Yankees, their 3 runs, 2 of them unearned.
Michael up at Toronto. Got the Royals jumped on the Blue Jays. 5-2 so far in the bottom of the 6th. Kansas City's young #1 draft choice, Luke Hochaver is pitching against Scott Richmond up in Toronto for the Blue Jays.
Yesterday, though, Zach Greinke actually gave up runs, huh?
He did. You know, if Toronto could do that, that ballpark could be a pinball machine up there, and you can give up some long balls. Really, the first home run he's given up all year. Just a remarkable start for Zach Greinke.
I think he came into the game with a 1.10 ERA. I think he gave up 5 runs in 5 innings, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's all the way up to 1.5, I think, now on his ERA.
And there's a strike to Upton. .67 pitches for Sabathia, 42 strikes. And the 3-1. And he walked Upton. You don't want to do that. Upton can steal. He has 17 stolen bases, been caught 3 times. Upton's coming out party was the postseason last year. He had 7 home runs, 16 ribbies. He was 6 for 6 in stolen bases. Grounded inside third and down the left field line. Upton will stop at second as Damon had him played perfectly, so a single for Crawford.
This is what Crawford's done so well this year. Look at this pitch away. Doesn't try to do too much with it. Just serves it right down the line. Easy little swing, almost like he's playing Pepper. Hits it where it's pitched. Now you got first and second. It's a back and forth game at this point. Both pitchers with leadoff walks that have potentially led to trouble.
That one's driven out to deep left center field, giving chase Melky Cabrera on the run. See ya! It's a 3-run home run for Ibar. And just like that, Tampa Bay takes a 5-3 lead. Fourth home run of the year for Ibar. Now has 16 ribbies.
See a first pitch changeup right down the middle. Sabathia with a leadoff walk, and then Crawford with a little fillet shot to go first and second for a base hit. Ibar gets a first pitch changeup and just drops the head on it. See, sometimes you get those first pitch changeups, and that just helps you get the bat head out in front. Just speeds up your bat automatically for you. About 86, 87 miles an hour on that pitch from Sabathia. Ibar deposits it puts it in deposits. Easy for you to say. Deposits it into the Rays bullpen. Just a backbreaker.
Here's Carlos Pena. Boy, these games could just turn on a dime. You watch Sabathia today, looks like he has just outstanding stuff, and the last 2 innings he has faltered. This is the first time that CC has allowed 5 runs in a game since May 2nd. As Pena fouls one back. 2 homers in the game for the Rays, and Pena's always a threat. He's actually homered in his last 3 games against the Yanks. But he's 0 for 2 today and 2 for his last 21.
Well, Ibar not known as a home run hitter. He came into this game with 19 career home runs and 763 at bats. Has 4 on the season, now 5. Certainly jumped on a first pitch changeup right down and out of the plate.
Slow ground ball up the first baseline, but it's a foul ball. We're in the 6th inning. Yankees had leads of 2-0, then 3-2, and now with that 3-run home run by Ibar, the Rays lead 5-3. And David Price, the recipient of those runs, he has grinded through 5 innings. Does not seem stressed at all. Very chill demeanor.
The mindset of the Yankee pitching staff, and in particular their starters, has to be this, Michael. Even though you just gave up a big 3-run home run, you know that the Yankees have had dramatic come-from-behind wins this year at home. You know you're capable of hitting home runs. You've got to regroup right here. Get out of this inning and realize that you still got a chance to come back and win this game and stay in this game a little longer.
And he strikes out Pena, so Pena's 0 for 3 against Sabathia.
There's a little intent, a little frustration on this fastball. Probably the best fastball he's thrown all day at 97 miles an hour. Perfect location, down and away. Watch him hit Cervelli's glove. Bam, right there. Nice comeback by CC Sabathia, and that's what you have to be thinking on the mound. Okay, so what? Let that one go. I'm down 5-3. We still get a chance to come back. Let me get out of this inning as quickly as possible.
Now you might wonder, with the Rays having a lead, who closes for Tampa Bay? Randy Choate. former Yankee specialty lefty. He's the closer. Percival's on the DL, and Isringhausen's been pitching poorly. The 1-0. There's a strike. Zobrist, a .378 hitter against lefties this year, and he has a home run against Sabathia. Sabathia is in good shape pitch count wise at 78. Not on the scoreboard. 5-3 Rays lead. Shattered bat and a ground ball to Alex. Rodriguez across the diamond. 2 down.
Nice pitch there by Sabathia. A little 2-1 changeup to a hot hitter, Zobrist, who's got a home run on the day already. Good location. Gets it off the end of the bat. Now you got 2 outs.
Here's Joe Dillon. He's 2 for 2. And that got Dillon on the way by. That's the pitch to be hit by, 84 miles an hour. '80th pitch was the one that hit him.
Well, Dillon came into this at bat 2 for 2. Now he's on base again. A slider down and in. You can see he turns right into it. Takes it off of his right thigh, just above the kneecap.
Popped up. Teixeira near the Yankee dugout will put it away, and that's going to do it. But a rough 6th inning for CC Sabathia. The big blow off the bat of Willie Ipar into the Rays bullpen. A 3-run shot erases a Yankee lead and gives the Rays a 5-3 advantage. Yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. The good people at W.B. Mason. Who but? Well, now the Yankees have to climb back into it. They trail 5-3 on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in New York City. And the heart of the order coming up against David Price, who's thrown 92 pitches. He had long innings in the third and the fourth, economical in those other innings, and Teixeira will start it off. And the count 1-0. And the count 2-0.
Well, you almost get the feeling, Michael, David Price, it's well known about his pitch count limit, that unless he goes 1, 2, 3, if anybody gets on base, he's probably going to get relieved right here.
There's a ground ball to short. Brignac. And there's one away. Time for another look at today's Toyota text ball. Once again, the question was, which of these pitchers with over 100 wins has the best chance to win 300 games? You've been texting at 58772. Here's the results. 50% think it's Sabathia. Gets a hometown vote there. 23% Halladay. 16 Oswalt. And Santana gets 11% of the votes. You agree with that, David?
It's probably a good bet with Sabathia if he wants to pitch that long. He's with the Yankees, who are going to always have a good team, always going to score runs. Offensive run support's a big part of how many games you're going to end up with at the end.
And the count 1-1. A-Rod with a home run today, and a walk, and another run scored. Count 3-1. A-Rod's home run hit the top of the wall and then bounced into the Yankee bullpen. Joe Nelson, one of 5 righties in the Rays bullpen. This will be pitch 100 for Price. And it's a ball, so A-Rod's on base again. .51 strikes, 49 balls. This comprehensive telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Here's Posada. Pitch inside. Posada's 0 for 2. Fly ball to left and a strikeout.
And even though Price just walked A-Rod for the second time after the home run in the first at bat, he's still retaining his stuff. Still in the mid-90s with his fastball. Just went past the 100-pitch mark on the day.
High pop-up. Brignac and Zobrist with the call on the catch. 2 outs. That's going to bring up Robinson Cano. Cano's 0 for 2, but he drove in a run with a ground ball at third. In the fourth, that drove in Alex Rodriguez. Cano 3 for his last 14, hitting .302. Count 1-0. And the count 2-0.
Kind of seen David Price try to mix it up a little more than he normally does. 70 fastballs today, a little under 70%, 68% fastballs. He came into today on the season, about 75% of his pitches were fastballs. Certainly mixing in a few more breaking balls today.
And the count 3-0. On deck is Nick Swisher. Jim Hickey The pitching coach has to be very careful with Price. He's the crown jewel of this organization. 105 pitches and more balls than strikes. Never good, but he hasn't seen that wild. 3-0. There's a strike. Count 3-1. And he ends up walking Kiddo. So now runners on first and second with 2 outs, and that's going to do it for David Price. A-Rod moves to second. Cano is at first. Swisher's due up. Madden, who just got a 3-year contract extension, makes a slow walk out to the mound. So he takes the ball from Price. The 23-year-old left-hander does a nice job. He leaves with a lead. And now we'll see if the Rays bullpen can hold it. The 18,000 fans in attendance are going to receive a Yankees water bottle courtesy of Zales. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or you can call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Well, Joe Madden makes the call to the bullpen. It's brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. And that call brings in Joe Nelson. 7 pitchers in the bullpen for the Rays, 5 righties and 2 left-handers. Those are Nelson's numbers, a bloated 6.23 ERA, 25 hits in 21 and a third innings, but a strikeout per inning. He'll deal with Swisher. Switch hitter batting from the left side. 1-0.
Nelson's best pitch is that changeup. Just started Swisher off with it right there, kind of a circle change. Nelson broke in with the Braves in 01. He's really bounced around. He's with the Red Sox in 04, Royals in 06, Marlins last year, and with the Rays this year.
Count 2-0. Brent Balfour, hard-throwing right-hander.
Kind of a breakthrough year last year for Nelson. Really got a feel for that changeup with the Marlins. 3-1 with a 2 ERA, flat in 59 games. 60 strikeouts in 54 innings.
High fly ball, left field. Crawford giving chase toward the line near the stands and makes the stands out of play. Dialed it up right there. Count 2-2.
Got a good changeup pitcher, 2-1 count. It's a changeup count. Traditionally, jumps it up to 90 miles an hour. Just above the bell. The Swisher swings through it. Perfect time for Nelson to go back to his changeup after that high fastball.
2-2. Popped him up with a fastball. Pena is there, and Nelson comes on to get out of the jam. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 6 here in the Bronx. 5-3, Tampa Bay. He's on deck for an exclusive tour of the new Yankee Stadium. And tomorrow, see what happens when Jabba, Wong, and Cece go to an Orlando Magic game. Yankees on deck today after the postgame and tomorrow morning at 11:30, only on Yes. "5-3 as we go to the 7th inning. Tampa Bay leads. Gabe Kapler leads off, and he swings at the first pitch and grounds it foul. Kapler with 2 fly balls to right. 4 for his last 23. Rays are a little shorthanded at DH, and because of that in the outfield as well, because they made a big signing during the offseason. They brought Pat Burrell in, but he's out with a bad neck. He's on the DL. So that's one bat that they thought would be in there every day at the DH spot, and hasn't been able to happen. The 0-2. 1-2.
Yeah, Burrow with only 1 home run on the year, ironically coming against the Yankees down in Tampa Bay earlier this year. Certainly expected more power from him. If he gets healthy, he probably will provide it if he comes back.
And the 1-2. Grounded softly left side. A-Rod cuts in front of Jeter. And there's one away. Here's Reed Brignac. Broken back, ground ball to Alex Rodriguez. 2 outs. CC in his last 5 starts, 4-0, 2.08. So has not had a 5-run start in a long time, and he's been great against Tampa Bay lifetime, 7-1 with a 2.44. He's thrown 86 pitches, which is a great number here in the 7th. He's allowed 2 home runs today, and that's the most, or the first time he's allowed 2 homers since August 18th of last year. He had only allowed 1 home run here at Yankee Stadium this season. And the pitch. There's a strike.
Yeah, the solo shot to Zobrist was a slider, kind of down and in, and give Zobrist credit on that swing. And the obvious big blow was Ibar with a first pitch changeup with runners on first and second for a 3-run bomb in the Rays bullpen. It was the backbreaker.
And the count 0-2. 96 low and in.
Yeah, if you're going to come in hard off the plate, you could see he just ties up Upton. Ball almost had a little cut to it too, kind of boring action inside to a right-handed batter.
And the 0-2. Dialed it up upstairs. CC's trying to complete at least 7 innings for the 6th straight start. So you know you're going to get length out of him every time he takes the ball. That's important. Gives the bullpen most of the day off. And the 1-2 outside. That was his 90th pitch, and it was 97 miles an hour.
Now, this is a game you do not want to come out of if you're CC Sabathia. You want to try to complete this game, stay in this game, and give your team a chance to come back and score some runs and get you off the hook.
The 2-2. Fouled away the other way.
Well, you were right about David Price, Michael. He did not seem wild, even though he walked 5 guys today. He only gave up 2 hits. 3 errors behind him by his catcher. A couple of, actually 3 throwing errors, 2 to second base, 1 to third base. David Price, 5 2/3, gives up 2 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. Certainly didn't seem that wild to be walking 5 guys, but this Yankee lineup in this ballpark will push you off the plate.
So Upton was 0-2, now it's 3-2.
A lot of David Price's pitches today just missed, a little in, little out. After A-Rod took him deep early in the game, he seemed to get a little more tentative and a little more careful with his pitches. But nonetheless, a very credible job by David Price here in his 3rd start of the 09 season. Sabathia trying to get out of this inning right here on a 3-2 pitch.
And he walks Upton. So Upton, a nice comeback in that at bat, walks for the 2nd time today.
Tough at bat if you're a pitcher out there. He jumped up 0-2 on BJ Upton and tried to put him away twice inside with fastballs, and Upton, to his credit, worked the count deep enough and got the walk.
Runner goes, he's picked him off. And Teixeira fires to Jeter. And that's caught stealing. 1-3-6. Nice pick by Sabathia and an equally strong throw by Mark Teixeira. He steps forward, gets the angle, fires a strike to Jeter, who applies the tag. So for the Rays, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base at the end of 6.5. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees trail this one 5-3, but we stay here. of the 6th. He's still in there against Melky Cabrera. And the pitch outside, 1-0. Cabrera, Cervelli, and Jeter, 8, 9, and 1 in the Yankee order.
You know, Michael, I talked to Joe Madden, the Rays manager, before the game and asked him about late in the game. How are you going to piece this together? And he said he just matches up. He hasn't really designated anybody as his closer, and that's when I threw the David Price question at him, and you know, all the debate about Jabba Chamberlain being a potential closer down the road. And he said, no way, we're not going to make David Price a closer, but at the end of the games, we're going to mix and match. And it looks like he's going to do that. Obviously, with Nelson here, they're double barrel in the bullpen. Looks like Randy Choate's up there now in the 7th. So he's just going to try to do the best he can in terms of matchups late in the game and put the pitcher in there who he thinks can get the job done.
Just nipped the outside corner. The count 1-2. It's Grant Balfour alongside Randy Choate. Choate with the Yankees from 2000 to 2003. 82 games he pitched for them. 3-2, 4.43. But he really was a specialty lefty for the Yankees. Rough day for Navarro. Looks like it got him on the left elbow.
Certainly did. There's nothing you can do about that as a catcher. A little bit of a ricochet shot.
It even hurts in super slow-mo. Bam, bam, bam.
Kind of rolled up his arm a little bit. Left some seam marks all the way up your bicep.
And the 2-2. Struck him out. That 88 looks a lot faster because of that change.
Well, Nelson throwing more fastballs today, catching the Yankees off guard. You see Melky's just sitting on soft speed right there. That's the kind of swing you get at a fastball up and away when you're looking for a changeup.
Here's Cervelli, 0 for 1 with a sac bunt. Pitch outside. Way outside, 2-0.
The one silver lining for the Rays this year amongst all those injuries that we saw, and it seems like every team's got their own injury problems, obviously, but with the Rays, when you lose Akinori, Iwamura, an established second baseman, good defense, good offensive player, but you got a chance to see Ben Zobrist play every day. The Rays have been talking about Zobrist for the last several years, trying to find him a position to play. He's going to get a chance to play second base now, it looks like. He can get a lot of at-bats. He's really impressed me, Michael. He looks like a player to me, a switch hitter with some pop, and off to a great start this year.
There's a strike. And another strike. Cervelli's not going to buy any friends with Adrian Johnson by walking to first base. Let's see if he had a beef. To the letter of the law, that's a strike, but it seemed a little high.
Certainly the top of the strike zone, borderline.
Fouled away. Rays lead the Yanks 5-3. Yankees led 2-0 and 3-2. But a 3-run Willie Ibar home run has changed things. Popped up. Here's Ibar. And he dropped the ball. It's a fair ball, and Cervelli reaches. And that's an E5, 4th error by the Rays.
Well, you can see him fighting it the whole way. He does not have sunglasses. Right in the heel of the glove. And definitely in fair territory. You see him using the glove to shield it. That's not where you're supposed to catch the ball. You can almost see the clank right off the heel of the glove. He tries to recover, and nothing you can do at that point. Clank, and there it is.
Well, Joe Nelson must be pleased. He gets knocked out of the game because of an E5. So now they will start mixing and matching out of that bullpen. Joe Madden signals out toward left center. We'll be back with who comes in. We're allowing you to vote along with the two of us here in the booth for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772. Today's candidates are number 1, Willie Ibar, number 2, Alex Rodriguez, number 3, Ben Zobrist, and number 4, Melky Cabrera. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Hey, join Nancy Newman for the WB Mason postgame to get in-depth analysis and highlights from this game against the Rays. Plus, Kimberly Jones has the postgame quotes from the team. It's the Emmy Award-winning WB Mason postgame, and it's only on Yes. Well, Grant Balfour comes on, and he'll face Derek Jeter. Jeter's 2 for 4 lifetime against Balfour. Those are his numbers: 25 strikeouts in 24 1/3, too many walks and 21 hits. Picked up 1 save, an ERA of 5.18. Jeter 0 for 2 with a walk and a stolen base. Driven out to right field, giving Chase Kapler on the track, at the wall, he makes the play. And hustling back to first is Cervelli, so Jeter, flirting with a game-tying home run, moves Kapler back to the wall.
Balfour throws hard, power fastball right down the middle. Jeter first pitch hacking. Boy, a little bat flip, but looks like maybe he thought he got it. Kapler, plenty of room there. As you see, Kapler gets back, and he's got a beat on it right there.
And Jim Hickey quickly out to the mound to talk with Balfour. So Jeter 0 for 3 today. And Hickey going over how they're going to pitch to Johnny Damon.
Balfour had a breakthrough year last year for the Rays. In 08, he was 6-2 with a 1.54 ERA. In 58 innings, 58 and a third, he only gave up 28 hits and struck out 82 batters. A huge part of their bullpen last year. Definite power arm with power stuff. Not off to the type of start this year that he had last year.
And the count 1-0. And 2-0. Damon certainly has the power to tie this game. He has 11 home runs this season. And this afternoon he's 0 for 2 with a walk. Mark Teixeira's on deck.
Johnny's been real good at picking out his zone, kind of middle, in, and down.
Now the count 3-0.
Johnny's got a little happy zone that he's been launching in the second deck all year long so far here at the new Yankee Stadium. He's really good at being able to zero in on that location where he knows he can get the bat head to it and put a home run type swing on it.
Did they green light him on 3-0? Let's see. There's a strike. Really wasn't good enough pitch to pull the trigger on a 3-0 anyway. Now this is a potential damage pitch for Damon. Cervelli leads off first with 2 outs. 3-1. Popped him up. Brignac out, coming on Crawford. And Crawford makes the play for the final out of the 7th. So they survive that error. The Yankees lead 1 man on. We go to the 8th. It's 5-3 Rays. Memorabilia now on sale at Yankees.com. All memorabilia comes with a Yankee Steiner letter of authenticity. For more information and to purchase original Yankee Stadium seats and other memorabilia, visit Yankees.com today and click the Shop tab. There's the old girl right across the street. As we go to the 8th inning, CC Sabathia is still in there, and Carl Crawford leads off. Waited on the breaking ball and fouls it away. .94 pitches for Sabathia. Crawford 1 for 3. The 0-1. Slow roller going to be a very tough play. And CC makes it. An outstanding play by Sabathia. The big man moving quickly, and the underhand toss to Teixeira.
Good pitch. You see Crawford's tied up, barely cues it off the end of the bat, and Sabathia does not give up on it. He's the only one that can make that play. Down to his knees with the underhand flip. You see he gets Crawford by a step.
Nice play. There's Willie Ibar, the big blow in the game so far, a 3-run home run. Didn't start it with a changeup that time. 0-1. Ibar filling in at third for the injured Evan Longoria.
You could really see Sabathia, even though he'll probably look back at this game and you got 5 runs on the board and a couple mistakes here and there, and he's going to have some things to think about, but he retains his stuff so well late in the games. Probably some of his best fastballs this inning as he approaches 100 pitches.
Given out to right field. Swisher. 2 outs. Let's take a look now at the Land Rover drive of the game.
Well, after a leadoff walk and a Carl Crawford single down the third base line, Willie Ibar trying to take a Willie away from Sabathia with a 3-run home run off a changeup into the Rays bullpen. And that's the way the score stands right now on the Land Rover drive of the game. It's now 5-3 because of that home run by Willie Ibar.
Here's Carlos Pena. Sabathia's held him down 0 for 3. 2 for his last 22. Strike. The next pitch Sabathia deals will be his 100th of the game. He's trying to complete at least 8 innings for the 4th time in his last 6 starts. The 0-1. Line drive and foul ball. David Robertson getting ready in the Yankee pen. The other day threw 1 pitch, got a win. That's economical, David. You sometimes would have to throw 140.
At least.
We got the final out at the top of the 8th, and then Melky Cabrera with the 2-run home run broke a 6-6 tie, so he got the win. And the 0-2 swung on and missed. An 8-pitch inning for Sabathia. Through 8, he's thrown 101 pitches, but he's trailing in this game 5-3. The Rays go down in order 1-2-3. Teixeira, Rodriguez.
Sabathia falling off the other way. He's got to get there in a hurry to the knees with the flip. Geico play of the game. CC Sabathia, nice play.
Well, the heart of the Yankee order against Grant Balfour here in the 8th inning. Yankees are trailing 5-3. Teixeira, Rodriguez, and Posada against the Rays righty. Pitch upstairs. Now the Rays really shade drastically for Teixeira. Ibar is the only infielder on the left side, and Zobrist is playing short right field. Can't play there. Deep drive, right field. See ya! A long shot into the luxury suite level. A solo shot for Teixeira, and it's 5-4 Tampa Bay. Right ties Carlos Pena for the American League home run lead with 17.
We have yet to see an upper deck shot at Yankee Stadium, and this one is probably the closest one we've seen all year. Just launched above the second deck into the suite level, just raining down right before the upper deck.
Well, the Yankees amongst themselves say that he's the guy who's going to do it, and it came pretty close. That's going to be some shot to get into the upper deck, but you have a feeling it will be done. And the 0-1. Outside 1-1. What a year Teixeira is having. Now 48 ribbies, 17 home runs. Tied with Pena for the American League lead. Adrian Gonzalez of the Padres has 22. And the count 3-0.
Completely changes the complexion of this inning in this ball game at Yankee Stadium. All the home runs here this year, a one-run game is completely different than a two-run game, especially in this part of the order with the Yankee lineup.
And Navarro wants to talk with Balfour. J.P. Howell, the other lefty in the bullpen, warming for the Rays. Five and 4 for the Rays, 4-3-1 for the Yanks. And he's taking all the way, takes a strike, 3-1. Alex has had a perfect day, 1-for-1 with 2 walks. And Jim Hickey is going to go out and talk on a 3-1 pitch. Talk to me, David, why?
Well, you know, maybe he's thinking right here, you know, with Balfour, he's a power fastball hitter, but a power fastball pitcher rather, who throws, but he's pretty straight with his four-seamer. He might be talking to him about pitch selection here with A-Rod. Certainly an unusual time, certainly unconventional to go out at this point in the count, but 3-0 pitch was right down the middle to A-Rod. Maybe Hickey didn't like what he saw and saying, hey, wait a minute, make a good pitch here. Because in this ballpark, you can have a tie game on a fastball down the middle right here.
The 3-1. Foul back. He won fastball.
He did. He challenged him, and that's the type of pitcher Balfour is. You can see that's a good pitch to hit. A-Rod just a little bit underneath it, but put a good swing on it. Now, that's what made Balfour so successful last year. He just power fastballs, willing to challenge guys.
And the 3-2. Popped him up. Shallow right center. Zobrist is there. Called off now by Kapler, who makes the play for the first out. First time they've gotten A-Rod all day.
Well, A-Rod had some good pitches to hit right there, kind of inner third, and he knows it. One up and away a bit that he put a good swing on, and that one just got beat. Even though it was a decent pitch to hit, it had velocity on it, and A-Rod just a little late on it.
Now you've got the lefty Howell ready. You got a switch hitter and then Cano coming up. You would think that this would be the time to bring in Howell. Howell is really good against righties. You turn the guy around to the bigger part of the ballpark, but they stay with Balfour here. Righties 0 for their last 26 against Howell. Pitch outside.
He may be trying to line up Howell to pitch the ninth and maybe put him in the save opportunity today.
And Posada is 3 for 3 against Balfour. 2-0.
What happens when you don't have a closer? Every day it's an adventure on how you're going to piece together the end of the ball game. That's going to really start to wear on Tampa Bay as this year unfolds.
So Posada with a big healthy cut, count 2-1. The attendance here at the stadium today, 46,205. Yankees continue to have the highest average per game in Major League Baseball. And Posada steps up. And the 2-1. Fouls it back. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And the bottom of the 8th inning. Teixeira crowd still buzzing over his long home run. Has narrowed the deficit to 1. A 2-2. Count 3-2. Yankee bullpen still throwing. But Sabathia is certainly not out of pitch count that he couldn't handle if they wanted to pitch tonight. Mariano's up in case the game is tied. Or obviously they go ahead. 3-2. Inside, Posada works a walk. First time Posada's on today was 0 for 3. And Madden now will have some words for Adrian Johnson. He thought that was strike 3.
You see, Balfour wanted that pitch. A little bit of movement on the glove, just inside. Boy, really borderline, just inside off the plate.
Balfour cannot believe he didn't get the call. Madden can't believe it. Madden will call on J.P. Howell now to face the lefty swinging Robinson Cano. And now Adrian Johnson and Balfour kind of barking at each other. Might as well not get thrown out and get a fine as well. Howell against Cano when we get back. Stay right here. first of 3 new episodes this summer. It all kicks off with 80s great Dave Winfield profiling one of the team's most feared hitters. Yankeeography Dave Winfield premieres Wednesday at 11, only on Yes. Big crowd at the stadium, and the Rays lead 5-4. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Runner on first, Robinson Cano is at the plate. Those are Howell's numbers. Less than a hit per inning, way more than a strikeout per inning. Excellent numbers for the left-hander. He's 0-2 with a 2.28. Now Cano is 4 for 15 with a home run lifetime against J.P. Howell. Cano's 0 for 2 with a walk. Missed outside. Extreme third base side of the rubber. And a strike. Now, why is he on the extreme third base side, David? What's he trying to do with that?
Well, he's trying to create the angles to get to the third base side of home plate. You know, what that does is allow you, if you throw a little across your body, to drive right towards that outside corner, which is what makes him so effective against right-handed batters. He's able to pitch righties in with sliders down and in and two-seamers that swing back over the inside corner.
Line drive, base hit to left field. Posada around second, will stop right there. Crawford comes up throwing. So Cano goes the other way to pick up his first hit of the afternoon. Now the Yankees have the tying run at second base. And Balfour is still hot.
Barking at the home plate umpire, thinking he should have been out of this inning. J.P. Howell has been so effective against righties, but not as effective against lefties. Shuji Cano gets a good look. Stays on him, drives that pitch over the shortstop's head. Line drive, base hit.
A tough decision here for Joe Girardi. Only carrying 2 catchers, one of them's your DH. Posada is the tying run. I'm sure that there's a part of him that wants to put Brett Gardner in the pinch run, because there's no guarantee that Posada will score on a single. You see the splits there. Lefty's hitting 324, righty's 149. Pitch is a strike on the inside corner.
We'll see, Michael, Swisher kind of questions that call. J.P. Howell has been so effective against righties because he does, as you noted, pitch from the extreme third base side of the rubber. You see that ball running inside. Certainly a borderline pitch. We usually don't get that call when the catcher has to move his glove that far to receive it.
Goes inside, then outside. Righty batters 0 for their last 26 against Howell. And the 0-2. You'll wonder with those statistics, David, you have Swisher and Melky. Why wouldn't a switch hitter come up left-handed?
Well, you know, J.P. Howell hasn't really been around that long. I mean, this sort of these angles he's created and the success he's had against right-handed batters has kind of just been over the last half of last year and the first part of this year. Swisher obviously feels more comfortable right-handed and getting a look against Howell.
The 1-2. Tries to bust him inside. If this is 2-2.
It's not like J.P. Howell has an extreme body of work where he's dominated right-handed hitters for several years. It's relatively a short period of time, but he is onto something. J.P. Howell does have a definite style in terms of going down and in with sliders to right-handed batters, and then, as you saw in that last pitch, trying to run that sinker back over the inside corner. So you've got 2 different pitches moving 2 different directions, and it's hard to guess as a right-handed hitter which one it's going to be.
Two in the dirt. The count 3-2. Well, with Posada at second, the runners aren't going anywhere. You can ill afford to have a strike him out, throw him out. Dan Wheeler warming for the Rays.
Once again, Nick Swisher finds himself in a 3-2 count. A couple of good breaking balls down in this sequence that he's really laid off of. But J.P. Howe thought he had him on.
Just missed, and the bases are loaded. So Swisher with a well-fought walk.
Take a look at the sequence. You see, gets the call in the inside corner with a fastball. There's a curveball, drops it right in there. Another one just down, good pitch. Inside with a two-seamer, just misses. Another breaking ball down. Really close curveball, just down. Shows you the eye of Nick Swisher right there. Be able to take that pitch in that situation.
Well, this is the time that Melky Cabrera likes. 5 game-winning RBIs in the 7th inning or later. That's the most in the major leagues this season. Grounded to short. They get 1. They don't get 2. The game is tied at 5. Give credit to Swisher, who went in really hard on Zobrist, and Melky busting out of the box. And now Madden is going to argue with the first base umpire, Scott Barry.
You see Melky, first pitch swinging, a little out in front of it off the end of the bat. Little bit of a high throw. That probably saved him right there. Zobrist has got to go up and get it, come back down, and I tell you what, it still was very close. Zobrist, you see his reaction. He thought he had him. Nice play by Zobrist to get up in the air on a high throw. You'll see right here. Very tough turn on a high throw. Good athletic play to come back down. Still get off a good throw as Swisher throws the roadblock. Tell you what, that's a hard angle to see, but he could have gone either way with that call.
Swisher did go in very high and went in with a roadblock there. Zobrist was still able to get off the throw. Let's see. Wow.
Well, you could have caught it either way.
Either way, I don't think either side would have argued.
I mean, potentially out there. It's hard to tell if Melky's foot's actually on the bag or not. You see Joe Madden probably had about 3 or 4 plays he wanted to argue that inning and finally got one that he just said enough. I'm going to go out and argue this one.
Well, 14 of Melky's 23 ribbies have now come in the 7th inning or later. And Joe Girardi is going to play against convention right now. He's going to send up Matsui, the lefty batter, against Howell for all the reasons that we've just told you. He's also going to lose his DH in the process because that means Posada is going to have to catch in the 9th inning for however long the game goes on. So Matsui is going to pinch hit for Cervelli. And they keep CC in there, although they won't the tie game. They're not losing that much because he's a pretty good hitter.
That's true. You forget about that. He had a couple bombs in Milwaukee last year.
We can't wait for interleague play in the National League City. So Matsui pinch hitting for Cervelli. Lefties hit him at a 303 clip. Righties hit him at 149.
And I like this move. I mean, Howell's on a run against right-handed batters, as you mentioned earlier, 0 for 26 in his last several chances. And 303 lefties are hitting up him, and a lot of that is that angle, as you noticed earlier, from the extreme third base side. Lefties seem to get a little better look.
0-0. 2-0. Cano's at third. That's the go-ahead run. Melky is at first. On deck, a right-hander, Derek Jeter. And look what he's done against Howell. 5 for 14. That's a 357 average. So a lefty against lefty pinch hit. And the 2-0. Strike. 2-1.
A good 2-0 slider right there from J.P. Howell. You just have to think, Michael, maybe if he'd used that pitch a little more against lefties, he'd probably have a little more success, although predominantly J.P. Howell's faced right-handed batters when he's coming in these innings.
And the count 2-2.
This pitch is just filthy, nasty, late two-seamer down and in off the plate. Starts off as a strike, ends up as a ball. You can see that ball tailing and sinking late. Good movement.
That's a hard pitch for a lefty to throw to a lefty when they're working from the third base side of the rubber. That's on a great angle. 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Said Tim McClellan, the third base ump. Matsui can't believe it. The Rays get the call. Girardi can't believe it. But the Yankees, 2, tie the score. They were down by 2 heading into the inning. And Mark Teixeira started it off. He hit one into the luxury suite level right under the upper deck. And then an RBI ground out by Cabrera. We go to the 9th inning. It's tied at 5. WB Mason postgame only on yes. Well, the Yankees going to win this one. It's going to be another walk-off win. But first they have to stop the Rays here in the top of the 9th inning. 5-5 game. And Mariano Rivera takes over for CC Sabathia. Sabathia pitched well over 8 innings, David. He just had those 2 bad ones, the 5th and the 6th.
Yeah, he really did. And his stuff was good, even almost better after he gave up the 3-run home run. As you see Mariano on the season right there. Only 1 walk. That's the stat that jumps out at you. Obviously 28 strikeouts with that 1 walk on the year.
And the pitch to Zobrist is fouled off. And that 1 walk was to Felix P.A. Not exactly a patient hitter, the Orioles outfielder.
But you know, to finish your point on Sabathia, you're right, Michael. I mean, the line is certainly uglier than the game. He pitched fairly well. 1 bad pitch on a 3-run home run on a first pitch changeup to Willie Ibar.
Now there might be some that question whether Matsui swung on the last out of the 8th inning. Umpires do have this in the back of their mind. McClellan's the crew chief, and every single call had gone the Yankee way. So if it was close, he was probably going to pump out Matsui, and that's what happened. The 1-1. Rip foul. Let's take a look. What do you think? Wow. I've seen a lot worse called check.
Well, from that angle, a little tougher. See, Matsui doesn't like it. He can't believe it. Are you trying to say that Tim McClellan tried to equalize that?
Been around a long time.
Umpires do that?
I've heard. The 1-2. 2-2. The new catcher for the Yankees is Posada. So that means that the number 9 hole is filled by the pitcher. And Zobrist lines one into left center field. He's going to go for 2. He might go for 3. Round second, going to third. He's in there with a triple. So Zobrist, who had a home run, now picks up a triple to start off the 9th inning.
We've been talking about Ben Zobrist all day, this time from the left-hand side, and a decent pitch. Certainly on the outside corner, a backdoor cutter, and he just stays on it. Drills it in the gap. He's shown power from both sides of the plate this year, and he came in red hot. I'll tell you what, Michael, this guy looks like a player to me. Switch hitter with power, drives the ball in the gap, runs well, can play just about anywhere on the field. This is a no-doubt opportunity for a triple with Johnny Damon picking it up and launching it in there. No chance. Stand-up triple.
Infield is in for Joe Dillon. The suicide, always a possibility. Pitches inside. Dillon 2 for 2, and he was hit by a pitch. Both hit singles, and he scored a run. Rivera trying to bust him in, misses twice, 2-0. The arms in the outfield for the Yankees, Damon and Swisher, don't have the best arms. The best arm belongs to Melky Cabrera. Line drive, and that is going to be a base hit to left center field. Scoring is Zobrist. Dillon picks up his 3rd hit, an RBI single, and the Rays have retaken the lead at 6-5.
Dillon aggressive on a 2-0 pitch. Definitely a strike, but out there on the corner, and he dives out and hooks it. Mariano felt compelled to throw a strike. Dillon was ready for it.
Career high 3 hits for Dillon, 3rd time he's done it in his career. And here is Navarro. Navarro squares the bunt, takes a pitch outside.
The prime example here with Navarro bunting. You could see A-Rod with the head start. He is right down his throat. So Navarro's got to bunt this to first base. Teixeira is forced to hold the runner on, even though he'll probably be breaking hard as well. But see A-Rod there. He is just going to be right down his throat. That's almost, we had the option, Michael, when I played the National League as a hitting pitcher, you know, you had the option to pull the bat back and do a little butcher boy and slap one, try to slap one by A-Rod to keep him honest. But obviously, if you're going to bunt, you got to get it to the right side. And you better get it down the first baseline because Mariano Rivera can jump off that mound with the best of them as well.
Bunts and fouls it off.
A-Rod trying to deke him, backing up, going forward once he sees Navarro's trying to deke him back. Bunting all the way. almost sense in this situation with the infielders moving the way they are and A-Rod that far in, it's a great time for a hit and run from Joe Madden. You got a 6-5 lead right here, even though it's an 0-2 count.
Closest I ever saw a third baseman play for a lefty batter was Pete Rose in the 1976 World Series against the Yankees whenever Mickey Rivers was up. He was about 20 feet from home plate. And Mickey did not have a great series.
Sorry, a 1-1 count. Was wrong on the 0-2. A-Rod still playing in.
Chopper toward Teixeira. He looks to second. He'll take the out at first. And that's just as good as a bunt. So Dillon moves to second. If you want to look ahead to the bottom of the ninth inning, it'll be the top of the Yankee order. Jeter, Damon, and Teixeira will get another hat. Tomorrow on Yes, it's a Sunday matinee in the Bronx as the Yankees play Game 2 against the Rays. Coverage starts at noon with batting practice today in the Tri-State Ford pregame. It's the Rays and the Yankees tomorrow at noon only on Yes. And Jabba Chamberlain will get the start for the Yankees. He'll go up against Matt Garza. Speaking of Matt Joyce pinch hitting for Gabe Kapler. Joyce came over from the Tigers in the deal that sent Edwin Jackson to Detroit. And at this point, David, that looks like a good deal for the Tigers.
Well, I like Edwin Jackson and his delivery and his power arm, and I think the Rays do miss him, but you have to give Matt Joyce a chance. You know, he was just recently called up from AAA. He's a highly touted prospect in the Tigers organization. He's got some pop in his bat, an outfielder. That one might take some time to read. If Matt Joyce can become an everyday outfielder for the Rays, it certainly will tilt the balance back towards the Rays. But as of now, you're right, Michael. Edwin Jackson has been phenomenal up in Detroit this year.
The 0-1. 1-1. That one's driven to right field, giving chase is Swisher, and he'll make the play. Dillon tags and goes to third. Nice play by Nick Swisher, using up most of the ballpark.
Well, we said Matt Joyce has got some pop, and when this came off the bat, it looked like it was headed for at least a double. Swisher got to it quickly. Never really looked for the wall, just went right to the ball and then found the wall. Nice play by Swish.
How about this for a pinch hitter? Pretty solid pinch hitter. Evan Longoria will come up to pinch hit for Brignac. $55 ribbies for Longoria. And now Joe Girardi wants to talk things over with Mariano. What do you do here, David? Do you dare walk Longoria and deal with Upton?
Well, you know, certainly it's pick your poison time. You know, Upton was struggling for the most part on this year, although the last couple of games he's really gotten it going. Starting to swing the bat a lot better, but if you're going to pick your poison here, even though Longoria has a bit of a hamstring problem, I'd probably make BJ Upton beat me, and it looks like they agree.
Longoria against Mariano, 2 for 6 and 1 home run. So an intentional walk for Longoria, who's dealing with a bulky hamstring. Now you might wonder, well, what is Upton against Bo? He's 1 for 7.
BJ Upton was hovering around 200 with his batting average until the last 8 games. He's got an 8-game hitting streak, 9 for 20 coming into this game.
He's 0 for 2 today, but he has 2 walks. So Longoria with a pinch hit intentional walk. And they're going to send Andy Sonnenstein out to pinch run for Longoria. So using the whole roster and sending in one of his starting pitchers to pinch run.
You got the shades working. Better keep your spikes on the bench if you're a pitcher. You never know.
Sonnenstein's going to pitch on Monday. The first pitch to Upton is outside. So Rivera struggling this inning. The triple by Zobrist, the single by Dillon. There's a cutter strike on the outside corner. Right back up the middle, a base hit. That's going to score Dillon. Moving to second is Sonnenstein. That's a single for Upton. He extends his hitting streak and also gives the Rays a 2-run lead.
Well, you knew B.J. Upton wasn't going to bat 200 for the whole year. He has been getting it going, and that is just a bullet right back up the box. The proverbial chuck and duck, and that's probably going to do it for Mo on his day.
So for the second time this year, Mariano Rivera departs in the middle of an inning as he has served up 2 runs, and the tie game is now a 7-5 Rays lead. So they will call on the left-hander in the Yankee bullpen to face Carl Crawford. Come on back. Booth. Who is it, David?
Well, for me, it's Ben Zobrist. As you see, he gets on the board with a slider down and in from Sabathia for his first home run, and then the blow, a triple in the gap off of Mariano Rivera, and he scores the go-ahead run, which stands as the game-winning run right now in this ballgame. Chevy player of the game, Ben Zobrist.
As we said, the second time Mariano's departed in the middle of an inning. The other time, May 7th, right here against the Rays. Here's Phil Koch. Those are his numbers. He faces the lefty Crawford. And that one gets past Posada, but the runners stay put. And in that game, that Mariano departed on May 7th, Crawford and Longoria hit home runs. Ball had such movement, went under the glove of Posada. A rough outing for Mo. 2 runs in and the 2 runners on base, his responsibility. The 0-1. Blocked there by Posada.
tough way to start your inning for Rivera today. As you say, we facing a hot Zobrist. Throws a cutter away, backdoor to a pretty decent pitch, and Zobrist just laced it in the gap for a triple. The rest was downhill.
Grounded foul. One-two count on Crawford. Runners on first and second. And the pitch. Spoils that one. Koch has inherited 21 base runners this year. He stranded 17 of them. Again, foul back.
This was a big series for the Rays coming into Yankee Stadium. They fought so hard through all their injuries to get back to 500. Coming into this game with a 28-28 record.
Just missed him on the way by. 2-2.
Good pitch, right at the belt, make him move his feet. Crawford has reached out on the outside corner and spoiled so many pitches today. He's gotten much better in his career, throughout his career, of doing that. Pitch away earlier in the game against Sabathia, he hit down the third base line. Now you got him set up. He's become a much better overall hitter in the last couple of years. When Crawford first came up, he was pretty much of a free swinger with a lot of talent. Joe Madden went out of his way to talk about the type of player this guy's become for this team. Doing all the little things well, get deep into at bats. He's just so hard to put away. Spoils so many good pitches. Then when he does get on base, it is almost impossible to stop him from running.
2-2. Laced to left field. It is a base hit. Johnny Damon charges. Here comes the runner. Here's the throw. It's not in time as Sonnenstein scores. Moving to third is Upton. It's an RBI single for Crawford, and the Rays now lead by 3.
Another case in point with Crawford. Even though he got pushed off the plate on a fastball and still hung out over the dish. Laces a line drive to left. Johnny bobbles it a little bit. You see the Yankees with Jeter and A-Rod a little caught in between on a cutoff situation. Probably had a play at third base. But Johnny bobbles it a little bit. Nowhere really in a position to cut that ball off and get a play at third base to end that inning.
That run, Mariano's responsibility. So is the runner at third. Here's Willie Ibar. 8-5 Rays. Trying to keep Crawford close. Crawford 34 steals, caught twice.
Real surprised if Crawford's not going on the first couple of pitches right here.
Count 1-0. Grounder and off the glove of A-Rod, fielded there by Jeter, and there's no play. Another run scores, and it's 9-5 Rays. That'll have to be an E5, you would think. And it is.
Ibar with another good swing. Hits the ball hard. You can see it's got a lot of top spin, too. A little quick hop off the grass, and A-Rod kind of fields it to the side, off the heel of the glove. Ball kind of stayed down off the second hop off the grass.
It has all fallen apart here in the ninth inning for the Yanks. As the Rays have batted around, here's Carlos Pena. Count 1-0. Count 1-1. Long look in for the sign. Runners go. Pitch is swung and missed. Throw to third. Got him. Perfect throw by Posada to nail Crawford and end the inning. But Mariano does not do the job today, and 4 runs scored by the Tampa Bay Rays. A perfect throw by Posada. Glove, ball, tag, leg, out. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Tampa Bay blows open a 5-5 game with 4 runs in the ninth inning. And that's the first time that Mariano's been charged with 4 runs. 3 of them earned, but 4 runs since April 27th of 2007. Dan Wheeler will try to close this out. It's not a save situation, but he'll try to get the final 3 outs. 21 games, less than a hit per inning, 14 strikeouts and 17 in the third.
Only 2 players in the Tampa Bay Rays lineup today that were not slated to be starters. Ben Zobrist and Mr. Dillon DH'd today. 5 for 6. 4 runs scored, a couple of RBIs between them.
Top of the Yankee order against Wheeler. It'll be Jeter, Damon, and Teixeira. If anybody gets on, Alex Rodriguez. Change in the Rays defense. We'll give that to you as we move along. Jeter loops one over the head of Ibar into right field for a leadoff single here in the ninth.
Jeter, first pitch swinging. Wheeler trying to go down and away. Ends up right down the middle. Classic Jeter swing. He got the ninth started off with a knock.
Ibar's moved from third to second. Zobrist from second to short. Dillon comes in as a DH and moves to third. And Joyce takes over on right. Johnny's 0 for 3.
Yankees with 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th had their lineup set up the way they wanted it for the bottom of the 9th. Certainly we're not counting on a 4 spot from the Rays in the top of the 9th.
Fly ball center field, Upton back, and it's over his head. Jeter goes to third. He's going to hold right there, and Damon picks up a double. We told you how shallow Upton plays earlier, but he just got a bad read on that ball.
You see him looking back up at the replay on the board, and Johnny Damon laces this ball. You can see he just kind of stops and glides and just is not going to get there. Looks like initially he thought he was going to get there no problem at all, and that ball just jumped and kept carrying.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Long home run his last time up. Three infielders on the right side. And a strike. Lance Cormier and Jason Isringhouse in warming for the Rays in their bullpen if things start to unravel. One more base runner, and the Yankees bring the tying run to the plate. Now Randy Choate gets up. Off-speed pitch to Teixeira way out in front. There's Choate.
Well, you can't pitch your way into a save opportunity for Dan Wheeler, but obviously those guys out there throwing in the bullpen, if they come in, it is a save opportunity right now.
And the pitch. Lined into right center field. That is going to be a base hit. It'll go to the wall. Jeter scores. Damon scores. Teixeira's going to stop at second with a 2-run double. Yankees are still in it. They're down by 2.
You can almost see Joe Madden's. You can almost see his lips right there. Why'd he throw a fastball right there? And this is why. Right there. Belt high, right down the middle. See Navarro setting up higher. Looked like he wanted it higher. Joe Madden doesn't understand it, but Mark Teixeira does as he laces a double in the gap. B.J. Upton, even with the hiccup in the drop, Teixeira does the right thing. Just stay right there on second.
Well, now the Yankees have their shot. And as I like to say, they've got no kick coming. They had an ugly top of the 9th inning, and they're going to have several chances to tie this game. Alex Rodriguez, Posada, and Cano will all get their hacks to try to tie this up. The runner in the box is the tying run. Teixeira, another big day. Those are his 9th and 50th runs batted in. 3 ribbies today. A-Rod has a home run. 2 walks and a fly ball to right. Started with a breaking ball away. Good identification by A-Rod, 1-0. This team does not quit. Joe Girardi said the other day, we always believe we can come back. 4 runs down in the bottom of the 9th, and they're making a run for it. Melky Cabrera has been one of the heroes in these spots consistently. And the 1-0. Fouled away.
Two straight sliders from Wheeler after that fastball that Joe Madden was talking about in the dugout to Teixeira. A-Rod's going to have to be real careful here. Wheeler's probably going to feature some sliders. He probably doesn't want to give in with his fastball. He's going to make sure he gets a pitch in a good location he can drive, or else turn it over to Posada, who's on deck.
The 1-1. Threw one in the strike zone. You thought he'd keep it away, but he threw one in the strike zone for a strike.
This is more of his curveball. Takes a little bit off of it. Looks like it's going to be up and in. You see A-Rod almost give up on it. Gutsy pitch by Wheeler right there.
Choate and Cormier are hot. They're ready to come in. The 1-2. 2-2. Jeter single. Damon a double over the head of Upton. Teixeira double into the gap in right center. It's 9-7 Rays. Upton again shallow in center for A-Rod, who certainly has a lot of power that way. A lot of room between Crawford and the fence as well and left. And the 2-2. Spoils it and fouls it back.
Well, Wheeler's got some guts. He chose to go to the fastball there, tried to get it in a good spot. A-Rod spoils it. This guy's been around a while. He's been a reliable reliever for a lot of years and several different teams, including the Houston Astros and New York Mets. Certainly a certain amount of comfort level with Wheeler on the mound.
And the 2-2. Fouled away again. The Yankees have 19 come from behind victories this year. Looking to round it to an even 20. There's tomorrow's starter Matt Garza. He'll face Jabba Chamberlain. We're on the air at 12 tomorrow with the batting practice show. 12:30 pregame, 1:08 first pitch.
Almost looks like A-Rod was sitting slider those last 2 fastballs.
The 2-2. Dribbled slowly toward third. And the play is made by Dillon for the first out. As Teixeira stays put. Nice job by Wheeler against A-Rod. That's going to bring up Posada. Posada's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Posada's 5 for his last 12. Posada has 8 home runs. Batting from the left side against the righty Wheeler. Teixeira leads off second. Strike. Still got some hair on the fastball, 92 miles an hour.
A quality pitch, down and away with movement. First pitch strike.
Rays lead. Yankees trying to come back. Down by 4 entering the inning. Now down by 2 with 1 out, runner at second. Tried the same pitch, that one missed, and the count 1-1. And the 1-1. 2-1.
What Posada brings throughout his whole career is a great eye at the plate. Rarely swings at bad pitches. Laid off a tough off-speed changeup or a little splitter there from Wheeler.
And the 2-1. Another good pitch at the knees, outside corner, 2-2. And Joe thinks it's a little bit low.
It is right there. Nice frame. Catch it in the web, hold it there, maybe bring it, snatch it, bring it back up a little bit. You can see that's probably just below Posada's front knee. So got the benefit of a borderline call.
Nine, 4 for the Rays. 7-2 for the Yanks. It's not been a clean game defensively. 6 errors combined. Outfielders very deep for Posada. It's about as deep as I've ever seen the Tampa Bay outfielders play. They're pretty close to the warning track, especially in right field. Matt Joyce. But that's about as deep as you'll ever see B.J. Upton play in center. Not quite sure why they're playing that deep, David, because they're guarding against a home run, it seems. Something drops in, then you have the tying run on base.
A lot of room in the left center gap in Death Valley as well.
Cano is on deck. 2-2 count. Runner at second, 1 out. Wheeler deals. Grounded foul. Glove there by Pena. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat upcoming.
Boy, Wheeler doing a great job after getting that low fastball called for strike 2. Has gone down twice with good moving changeups that came in on the same plane but went even lower. Posada forced to guard and take a swing at him.
And he's worked the count full. A good at bat and a nice sequence of pitching by Wheeler. You can actually have both.
It's what a veteran pitcher will do for you. Even though he made a mistake to Teixeira and a booming double that got the Yankees back into this game, came right back and got A-Rod, and now he's here with a 3-2 count against Jorge Posada.
And the pitch. They had him play beautifully deep. Upton makes the play. If he's shallow, that's probably over his head. So great defensive positioning by the Rays for the second out.
Go pitch to pitch. Good first pitch sinker for a strike. Just missed down and away. Good changeup laid off. There he gets the call to change the at bat. Another changeup down. Trying to expand down again. Third one down. Fastball right there out of third. Posada drills it. But right at B.J. Upton.
Well, Joe Madden is going to call on his left-hander now and match up lefty Randy Choate against Robinson Cano. Cano, the Yankees' last hope. He's also the tying run. Former Yankee Randy Choate will try to close it out. Yankees are down by 2. Stay right here. The journeyman has become one of their closers in 4 games, 3 innings, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit, 2 saves. And he's going to try to nail this one down. He's a side-winding left-hander, and he'll face the left-hander Robinson Cano. With the Yankees from 2000 to 2003. 9-7 Tampa Bay leads. Cano has driven in a run. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. On deck is Nick Swisher. Lance Cormier, the righty, is ready in the bullpen for the Rays. The pitch outside.
Randy Choate is actually the pitcher who relieved me, Michael, when I dislocated my shoulder in Kansas City in 2000. Had to come out of the game. Randy Choate came in and certainly has worked hard to get back to the big leagues. Finds himself with another great opportunity with the Rays.
Cano looking to tie it right there.
One of those situations, a 1-0 fastball. Robinson's looking for it, a little over anxious, chases a bad pitch. Something we've seen less frequently this year as opposed to last year from Robinson Cano.
Lefties are 0 for 6 against Choate this season with 3 strikeouts. 1-1. Inside, 2-1. After the 6th inning this year, Cano's a .367 hitter with 4 homers and 11 runs batted in. Nick Swisher awaits. And the 2-1. 3-1. If they lose Cano, in all likelihood they will go to the bullpen to bring in one of the righties to face Swisher. A 3-1 count on Cano. Choate has to be careful. Don't want to make this too good. Could end up in the seats. And the pitch. And the count is full.
Kind of see Randy Choate's ball moves all over the place. For a side-winding lefty, he goes hard. He can get it up to 90 miles an hour, and his ball moves late. Sometimes that hampers him in getting the ball in the strike zone as he can get a little wild at times, but he's a tough chance for a lefty. A lot quicker than you think he is, and especially from that side-winding delivery.
Cano is 11 for 23. That's .478 in the 9th inning. He'd like to make that 500. That would be 12 for 24, although he'll take a walk. The payoff. Drilled into center field. Upton's there, goes back, and he makes the play for the final out of the game. The ball kept traveling. Upton playing deep, hauled it in for the final out of the 9th inning. So the Yankees gave it a run, but they come up a wee bit short as the Tampa Bay Rays win this one 9-7. Well, in this inning, Upton has one ball go over his head, then starts to play deeper and chases down Posada's drive, and now this one by Cano.